Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Fine.
How was your long holiday?
Holiday was okay.
That's nice. Welcome back. We are going to learn today. And for those who do not know me, my name is Dr. Omari Obed. Omari Obed. And my phone number is 0795784846. And my email is at omari@gmail.com. So for those who want to reach me, these are my contact details. Now, in case of anything, as we are going to be learning this course, you can be able to reach me and inquire. So today, we're going to introduce the lesson in organic chemistry. And in organic chemistry, we are going to start with the basics. But even before we begin, I want us to write our registration numbers and sign. And be signing the attendance. Organic chemistry, in organic chemistry, is one of our core units, basic subjects, which we need to learn this term. That is in organic. Chemistry, the course code. The course code, it is ASCOS ACHEM. Then we have CC 6.8. This is also will be necessary for us during our examination time. Now, at the end of the course, there are some key components that we need to learn. The first one, we're going to identify and learn the basic elements in the periodic table. Then we're going to learn the properties of these elements as we move on. Then as we are learning, then we can also be able to identify the metals and their uses, the periodic table, and know the trends in the periodic table. So for this lesson, we're going to cover 3 objectives. And the first objective is we are going to write the chemical symbols of the elements, writing the chemical symbols of the elements in the periodic table. And we're going to use a group 1. Group 1, which when we talk about group 1, which kind of elements are these? Yes, we have sodium in group 1. Sodium, then we have, yes,
We also have hydrogen before sodium.
we have hydrogen, which goes before sodium. Another one, yes,
Potassium.
we have potassium, thank you. We have potassium. Maybe 2 more. Yes, yes. We have lithium, thank you. We have lithium. The last one,
Cesium.
Yes, come up again.
Cesium.
Cesium. Magnesium. Yeah, thank you. So, we have identified some of the compounds, and when we talk about writing the chemical symbols, it is a short term, something that simplifies the name that has gives it that was passed by the IUPAC, which is the International Naming System. It's an organization that deals with the naming system of the compounds in chemistry. So in these compounds, we're going to start by assigning them their chemical compounds. And I want one of us to come and try giving the chemical symbols of these elements. You can either give you can give all of them or even three of them. Yes, one for the class. Somebody to give it a try. Yes, sister. What is your name? Millicent. Thank you. Welcome, Sister Millicent. You can use the left marker. Okay, you can clap for her. Somebody else, you can be able to come also, you can write yours so that you can be able to see. Yes. What is your name?
My name is Leonard.
Leonard, welcome.
And can also write here mine.
You can write, or you can continue, and if there is something you can assist in rectifying that you see maybe she wrote wrongly.
So mine and Laurent write is
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else want to use a track? Now, question. Are we contented with what we have written?
no.
What is the problem?
As we had discussed in our previous groups, we were told that the first letter ought to be a capital letter. So for lithium, I think the first letter there should be a capital letter.
Thank you. Anybody else who thinks maybe you all are contrary opinion? Who thinks that what has been written is correct? Okay. Now, when you've given an example of these compounds, sodium in IUPAC naming, as he has said, the first letter ought to be capital. And the short form of sodium, it is not N, as Sister Millicent indicated, it is Na. But the small letter, the second letter is small. It is a small letter number. Then when you go to hydrogen, you wrote it correctly. Potassium, not sure whether this is a capital or small. But it's supposed to be a capital K. A capital K. Then for lithium, the L is small, which is wrong. It's supposed to be a capital what? A capital L and a small I. Then for magnesium, it's correct. Then, having known all this, we can go and try at our own time and continue with all the elements, the first 20 elements of the periodic table, chemical components and symbols and continue practicing so that it becomes easier for us to move forward. Having understood the chemical symbols of elements, now you're going to move to identify the groups and the periods in our periodic table. But first, we must be able to understand what is a periodic table. What is a periodic table? Yes.
Periodic table is a table representing all the existing elements with their atomic masses and their weight and their existence.
Thank you. Can clap for us. So that's very correct. Now, when you're talking about elements down periods, how is it spelled? Yes. P-E R-I-O-D. Periods and groups of the periodic table. So, how many groups do we have in the periodic table? And I want us, as you're looking at the periods and groups in the periodic table, we also look at groups in the periodic table. We also look at the trends. When we understand how many periods we have in the periodic table and how many groups we have, then you can look at the trends that we have in the periodic table. And when we talk about trends, we are talking about trends across the period, and we're also talking about trends down the group. The group. So I want us to think about it, and everybody is going to think about this one. Then you're going to share with your neighbor what you know about this before you can be able now to write it down and share it with the whole class. I'm giving you 3 minutes so that you can be able to look and read. You can also use internet and even our books so that you can be able to research on it. So also as we brainstorm, here are the handouts which have the images of the periodic table. You can look at them and be able to now visualize it well. I have 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes. Our time is up. Our time is up. Now let us focus up front. Let us focus up front. I want to give us a chance so that you can be able to describe it. Maybe we'll choose it randomly. Our brother Ranga, what is your name?
My name again is Leonard.
Leonard. You're going to tell us about what happens
radius.
You can come out there.
Yes. In our groups, we discussed with my group at the park, and we came across what happens to atomic radius down the group and across the period. First, for an atomic radius down the group, atomic radius increases. This is because of increase in energy level. When there's an increase in energy level, the atomic radius also increases. Across the period, the atomic radius decreases as you move across the period. This is because there is increase in nuclear force of attraction. Like magnesium is number 13, so it has a 13 neutrons. And then we have also in the same period, which is the same period for magnesium. Couple number? No, in the same period. 3. Magnesium is 2, 8, 3. We have 285, which is phosphorus or carbon. Carbon number? 286 carbon. So you are seeing 286, which is also on the same period. There is increase in nucleus. We have 16 nucleus, and they are on the same period. So there is that pool of electrons. So it will make it very small. That is according to the nucleus. For our own case. For our brother, can discuss about ionization energy.
Yeah, you have a second to describe it. You can describe about ionization energy. Yes. What is your name?
It's very
Okay.
ionization energy. Ionization energy. Down the group is, let me use that diagram. Now, here is where you have the nuclear and the last electron. So down the group, the other group, there's an increasing quantity between atomic radius.
Yes.
So at the atomic radius, the energy that is the ionization energy is the energy to remove the electron from the last. So here you will use less energy because of the distance. So it is you will use more energy, more energy because they are closely packed and there's a strong pull. But this one is far from the nucleus, so the pull is not that strong, then you use less energy. So ionization energy decreases down the group.
Yes. Sure. The more the electron is to the nucleus, the more it's done what?
The less the energy.
The less the energy required to do what?
To remove
it. So, because of time, in our next class, we are going to begin in the same trends, and we're going now to study about the electronegativities. Then we're also going to look at the metallic character. In our next class, what happens to the electronegativity of elements across the group, down the group and across the period. And maybe to clarify, when you have our periodic table, these are elements that are here. You can have our elements as many as they can be. There are around 103 elements. We are talking about these are groups. When we are talking about going down these elements that are going this way, this is down the group. And then the elements that go across, that's what we're talking about, what? Across the period. And here, the first group, we call it what? The alkali metals.
Yes.
Then you have the alkaline metals. Then you have the transitional elements. Then you go to the what? We have the halogens, which are the last ones. And there's another group of elements down here, which are called lanthanides and what? actinides. So we can also go and read more about it for our own good. So I want to ask if there's any question, any clarification, any question, any clarification, anywhere you have not understood. Yes?
You have said you go and read on metallic. So are we going to present in class or we just read?
We are going to present because it is easier to remember when you do presentations than reading. So the first thing you're going to do in our next class is presenting about the metallic properties and all what? All those properties. Metallic current and electronegativity, something like that. So let us go and read about it at our free time. Any other question? So also now, there's a work I want us to do. It is going to be part of the formative assessment. I want us in our groups, we're going to discuss and write down the following. We're going to identify the metals and non-metals as per the group and the period they belong in the periodic table. We identify the metals and the non-metals as per the group they belong in the periodic table. And the question has 10 marks. So I wish you a nice evening. Let's meet in our next class.
Thank you, sir.